everybody. I have gotten some questions after the last video I did on giving you guys some tips on how to communicate with your own animals on a deeper level. And I talked about, being in the moment, opening your heart, quieting your mind, and keeping your logical mind out of it so your intuition can receive information. And a few people had questioned the fact that they still felt very blocked, that they didn't feel like they were getting some information. And I also had a few people who had some really cool breakthroughs with their animal. So I wanted to address the issue of feeling blocked. And again, don't be hard on yourself. Tapping into our telepathic muscle for some people may seem very unnatural. And the fear of not doing it actually blocks you. Because sometimes we want it so bad that we try too hard and we actually do block our progress. So when I teach classes to people on animal communication, there's always, a person that will come up to me and say, I'm not getting anything, I'm feeling very blocked. So a little trick that I use to get people over that hump, because we are, they're like, maybe I'm the only one in the world who doesn't have a telepathic muscle. Not true. We all have this beautiful telepathic muscle that we just need to access and trust. And the more we use it, just like our biceps, the stronger it will become. So, oh my. I have another helper today. Yes, no matter where I go, they find me. So a tip to get you over that hump of feeling like you're blocked and you're not getting anything. Actually, I have a few tips for you. One is I have people do the greeting exercise to, sit with their animal and imagine you're saying hi to them and they're giving you a greeting back. With this simple exercise, the moment I tell people to imagine the animal is answering them. Imagine they're telling you about their day. And the reason I say imagine is what happens is a beautiful thing happens actually. When we imagine it, our logical mind actually backs off. Because it's like, oh, you're imagining it, so I don't need to get involved. So a lot of times intuitive information will come through our imagination. It's kind of like a back road around the logical mind, if that makes sense. So if you do feel like you're struggling and you're a little bit blocked, I want you to imagine that the animals are communicating with you. Imagine they're saying something. Another little trick is to write it down. The moment we write things down, we are validating our telepathic muscle. Just so you know, I'm patting my kitty, if you're wondering what I'm doing. So when we write things down, we are freeing up space in this gentle flow of telepathic information back and forth, and we are validating our telepathic muscle. So when you write it down, it gets it out of your head onto a piece of paper so more information can flow through. Very, very important. Always have a pen and paper when you're starting the communication exercises, because and I tell people, write anything down you get, even if it's a feeling, a sensation, an itch, just write down anything you get. That will just start to open up that flow of information. Another little trick, some people are very visual. and can get distracted with visual stimuli. When I work with animals, I get lots of pictures from them. It's like a movie playing in my head that I interpret. So sometimes when I go to work with live animals, it takes me a little bit longer to quiet my mind in order for me to hear them or access their information, just because I become visually stimulated. So a way around this, when I used to go to stables and work with some of the horses in stables, I would, say, meet the owner and meet the horse and, give my greetings to the horse, explaining who I am. And then when I actually would go to communicate with them, I would have my pad of paper and I would actually sit outside the stall, or I would just kind of focus on my paper so that I wasn't so visually distracted, if that makes sense. When I have issues with my own animals sometimes, and it's something that involves a lot of emotion, I will actually communicate with them, and I'll go to take a shower and communicate with them from my shower. So that's another trick, and water is a wonderful conductor of energy. So I will sometimes sit in my shower and communicate with all of them so that I'm not visually distracted by them, and also emotionally it just when you're too emotional about in a situation, you will block your intuition. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. So sometimes removing yourself from the immediate situation will give you a clearer connection telepathically. So those are a few tips. And please always comment and let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer anything or give you some of my tricks or tips to help you have a deeper communication. So just, trust in it and believe it. Okay? Got my little helper here. This is Marabella. She's amazing. She likes to bite me. This is the one where I have to go in the shower and talk to her. All right.